hope you're doing well today. It's Wednesday, and just before church starts and everything, some of you may know that I'm a pastor, and that's my calling and my job that I do. But welcome to R.I.G Outdoors. And I'm a little nervous, so forgive me for that, but over the years I have watched YouTubers share their passion for things that they enjoy doing. Many like to woodwork, like Sam from Green Acre Workshop and Kevin from Hope This Works Homestead, which, by the way, you guys do an amazing job with the woodworking that you do. I enjoy watching your videos and enjoy your projects, and you guys do an amazing job with that. Others enjoy different hobbies and enjoy life, such as Andrew from the Bearded Giant channel, which I enjoy watching his videos as well. And others enjoy homesteading, or there's a lifestyle and a life for them, and helping others, as well as have good nuggets of truth, solid truth and advice, such as Brad and Krista from Big Family Homestead, and Prep Stetter Bob and Mrs. B, which I hope they also give good advice. And I really like Prep Stetter Bob's Super Soil input, and that was great. Love his advice to homesteaders and his desire to serve the Lord and reach homesteaders as well. And I hope one day when I'm retired, I'll be able to have a homestead like theirs. Though I like to try my hand at each of these things, woodworking, and it was my dream as a young man to have a homestead and live off the land and be as independent as possible. I found myself traveling a road that the Lord had me on, and I was to be a pastor, and I don't regret a day that the Lord led me onto that path, and I thank God for that. But my passion, I got thinking about that. What is my passion? What do I really like to do? And my kids will tell you that Dad talks about hunting a lot. And that is my passion, is to be outdoors, whether it's hiking or hunting or fishing. But I just like to be in God's great outdoors. I like to hunt big game as well as small game. I love the bird hunt as well. I love the turkey hunt. That's a passion of mine as well. And I like to hunt predators such as coyotes and when it's legal and everything, bobcats and things of that nature. I like to shoot targets with my bow, with my daughter Anna, shooting her bow at my side, and that brings me great joy. It also brings me great joy to be in the backyard with a pellet gun, like a Gammo varmint hunter, and my son has a Beeman interchangeable barrel air gun that we like to plink in the backyard with, so that brings me great joy as well. And I also like fly fishing with my kids. Not long ago in West Virginia, before we moved, we went down to the creek and just had a good day of fly fishing. We didn't catch anything, but we had time together as a family, and that's important. My goal for R.I.G Outdoors is to take you, the viewer, along with me as I experience God's creation to its fullest. Whether it be whitetail deer hunting in New Hampshire and Vermont, or it be fishing the mountain brooks of the White Mountains in New Hampshire, or be on the boat with my father-in-law bass fishing, whether it be any of that, my father-in-law, my son, and my daughter, if she's able to be there, to be fishing off from the boat, whether it be any of that, I want to share each aspect of the outdoor life with you that I do enjoy so much. I also want to share my gear that I use as well as tips that I have learned along the way. Believe me, there's been many things that I've learned along the way, many successes, many failures. I mean, I've gone long stints without getting a deer at all, but harvesting a deer at all, but yet it's the experience of being on the top of the mountain and just looking down and seeing God's creation and His beauty, and whether I harvest an animal or not, even just seeing a moose just traveling through, and I don't have a moose permit, but just seeing a moose traveling through as I'm deer hunting, like I used to when I was living in Maine as a teenager, and I would see moose and everything traveling through, and it just was a beautiful sight, and just watching that as well. So basically, sharing the little tidbits along the way of what I've learned, successes, failures, what equipment is successful and what equipment's a failure. Just sharing that along the way. I also want to explain a little bit how I came up with the title R.I.G Outdoors. And actually it's pretty easy. R.I.G Outdoors is basically my initials plus the the title Outdoors. And my initials stand for Reverend Ian Gilpatrick, and thus the term R.I.G Outdoors. So that's it. That's simple. And thus the birth of this channel of R.I.G Outdoors. Basically what I want to be going over is some equipment. When I'm not out hunting and fishing and everything, I'll go over the equipment that I use. And like when we fly fish and everything, and if I'm able to bring video to you and we're fly fishing and we're videotaping it or whatever, share with you the equipment that we're using that day. Also may take you on the going out and trap shooting or skeet shooting or whatever you guys call it, or clay pigeon shooting. But just simply bringing you along and enjoying the great outdoors. I believe in a lot of traditional methods to take wild game, and one of them, a lot of people say, well, it's not traditional. Some will have that argument, but I started out with a recurve bow. I love to hunt with a recurve bow. I had up until a few years back was using a 55-pound recurve that I would switch on and off with during bow season between my compound and that. But I sold it because I had a stroke about 6 years ago, and I just lost a lot of strength. I'm trying to recoup that strength. But God has blessed me, and I've been able to get back into shooting my compound again. And I had a side lock, but I didn't like the side lock as much as my inline. My inline really I like a lot, and I actually started out with a CVA, and now I have a Traditions Pursuit and walnut and a walnut stock, and I love that rifle. It's smooth shooting, and I just love that rifle. My son has my CVA, and my daughter actually has my second one that I bought, which was the buck stalker, which was pretty decent, and she uses that open sights and is pretty dead on at 150 yards. She may even be dead on beyond that, but when we were at the range not long ago, she was pretty dead on that one too. So, I mean, I like to use a lot of traditional ways. Now, don't get me wrong, I do rifle hunt. I have modern centerfire rifles. I have modern semi-automatic pistols, which is I do believe in, and our Second Amendment right. I'm a very big fan of the Second Amendment, but to be honest with you, when it comes to hunting, I've hunted for years with my bow and modern equipment, and I really like the inline muzzleloader. I like the compound bow, and recently when I feel really weak and everything, I do have a crossbow that I use every now and again. Have it in Vermont because it's not legal unless you have a disabled permit. So I use a vertical bow when I do get a chance to shoot and everything. Now, do I shoot my crossbow just to keep it on point in practice? Yeah, because over next door where my father-in-law owns some land, I'm able to use that crossbow in New Hampshire. So yeah, I keep everything on point and make sure everything's tuned up and in sync. Haven't lately though because it's kind of hard with having a good amount of snow on the ground and it's cold. It's been negative 14 here, so it's been kind of difficult to keep shooting in this cold. But as spring arrives and we get ready to go into turkey season, I'll be doing making sure my pattern of my shotgun's good, and making sure that all my calls are in order, and just trying to get everything back in order there. We have recently moved to Vermont about a year ago, and I pastored here for 3 years prior to that. So we're glad to be back in the Northeast. There is still game to be hunted here, but one of the areas that I love hunting the most is Oklahoma with my buddy John Studebaker, and it's been great hunting with him all the years that I was able to. And one day I'm hoping to be able to get out into Indiana and hunt with my dear brother and friend, Troy Shepard. So he's a Christian brother and a fellow pastor, and I can't wait. But this is Rig Outdoors. I just encourage you to come and be part of the journey with us. And I want to try to get one video out a week. As a pastor, I kind of get busy at times, but I'm going to try to get one video out a week, possibly two, and that way so I can start building up the videos. And God bless you guys, and I hope you have an amazing day. And try to stay warm as you can, because most of the country is seeing some cold snaps. So, and we're expecting freezing rain this evening. So, God bless you. I'm going to get this uploaded, and looking forward to getting to know each of you viewers out there. And if you would like, you can hit the subscribe button and to this channel. And may the Lord bless you guys. And I'm looking forward to the ventures that we have together ahead.